Friends, family, collectors. Welcome to Chatting with the Comic Community. I'm your host, TM. This is a show where we bring on people throughout this amazing comic community and get to know them a little bit more. Get to know how they got into comic collecting, what they grew up with for TV, cartoons, anything pop culture, really. And today I'm excited to bring on this guest. This guy has been a champion in this community. He supports everybody in this community, but also has like some amazing comics. I don't know how he gets them. He's just very good at the hunt. Speaking of the hunt, he is also a champion over on the hunt. That's Tony Sanders' channel. He's just been killing it over there with the persona he's been uh, bringing to that show. So without further ado, let's bring out Cali Comics.
Hey Travis, thanks for having me on, man.
Oh man, thanks for coming on. It's always great to talk to you. You've been on with me and Roscoe a couple times on Between the Lines, and I'm so happy to actually talk one-on-one with you, get to know you a little bit more, get to know a lot more of your nerdy side and what kind of pop culture you grew up with.
Awesome. Look forward to spilling the beans.
So for the viewers at home that don't know a lot about you, give them a little rundown of who you are.
I am Cali Comix. My real name is John. I just turned 40. I've been collecting comics since I was about maybe 6 years old. I can't remember the exact year. One of my mom's boyfriends introduced me to comics. He gave me some Batman comics, and I kind of fell in love with Batman like any kid. And then the '89 movie came out, and it was just kind of blew my mind as a tiny nerd to see something so cool. And then Turtles, Turtles went in pretty hard too. Going to see that one was really fun too as a kid. And then let's see, my collecting kind of evolved a little bit after that because my cousin, he got into comics too. He's my younger cousin, and together we had a lot of fun as kids because X-Men came out and it kind of opened up a giant world of collecting to us, and we got to play with all those toys that came out. Came to KB Toy Store. He had all of them. I wish I had at least one or two, but I never had any. He had all of them, so we always got to play with those. And then let's see, I kind of fell out of comics around high school, and then post high school, had kids, and I wanted to get closer with my kids, and comics was a way to do it because superheroes are fun, and they're for everyone, and it was something we could share, and they kind of grew out of it a little bit at the moment. They're still into it somewhat, but I look forward to the future when they come back around like I did, because then they'll start asking me, hey, those comics you said I could have, do you still have them? I kind of want them now. And that kind of brings us to where we are now in my collecting history is YouTube. This has been a really different angle for collecting, I have to say. It's a whole new experience. It's a whole new ball game, to be honest. There's a lot more people that appreciate the way others collect instead of just hate on it, and it's a lot of fun. And you mentioned the hunt. That's like another thing that's evolved the way I collect, because now I don't just look at a book and personally think, do I want it? It's kind of like, how can I use this? Sometimes you got to have an angle on the hunt, and it has evolved the way I collect a little bit because I kind of have everything I want, everything I've ever wanted. Yeah, there's always books that I could get, Hulk 1, Fantastic Four 1, Spider-Man 1, Amazing Fantasy, giant books and stuff, but I kind of have everything I want. So now it's more about having fun, and that's kind of where I'm at right now.
That's fantastic, man. That's fantastic. You went into a lot more detail than I expected you to. You just like, now I guess I gotta throw out all the questions that I have for the rest of the show. That's it, everybody. It was a quick show, not an hour long. Thank you guys for no. You
Oh,
said Batman was the first thing that you got into. Um,
hmm
uh, has Batman been like your favorite type of hero throughout the years? Like, has he differed throughout the years, or have some of the new characters like super or not new, but like some other characters taken the mantle as your favorite character?
well, I think Batman is it was my introduction into superhero world. You know, I watched cartoons and I did things like that, but I never looked at comic books. I never read them, nothing like that. It was just strictly cartoons on a Saturday or something. But when I started looking at Batman comic books, it was like it made the TV pause and I could, you know, frame by frame watch the show, and it was completely different, and I loved it. And I didn't really read a lot of them as a kid. You know, I'd kind of flip through them and look for really cool stuff. You know, because it's like 5 years old, man. I didn't read a lot of comics back then, so I didn't gain a giant appreciation for what Batman was at the time. But it was definitely my first love. Like I remember, I had to be 5 because I was in kindergarten, and my favorite shirt was this neon blue, purple, and pink Batman, and he's like flexing like this, and it says Batman across his belt. And I wore that shirt till it like just turned to shreds. But I still have an appreciation for Batman because he's the ultimate, like the he's a possibility. He could happen. Superman ain't fucking happening. Green Lantern ain't fucking happening. You know, but that's kind of how I feel about Batman now. You can't really say the things replace it. It was, you know, my first love, but it kind of evolved into other things. Like I said, X-Men, when X-Men came out, the cartoon, it completely turned it upside down, and I was all about mutants because it was so fun. It was just, I don't know, there's something about it. Just pretending to be one out in the front yard, playing with cousins or your friends. It's just, it was fun, you know. Batman was okay, but it wasn't really fun to play Batman.
No, because it would be just like
Imagination.
Batman and like and one other friend in that, and you guys would be fighting like who's gonna be Robin? So
Yeah.
it's like I'm
I mean,
Batman. No, I'm Batman.
yep, exactly. When I got over the whole, like, I wouldn't say got over it, when I evolved a little further, I got down the road where I was getting into darker things. So Spawn is really what picked me up. Like, I loved Spawn, and that took me into high school, you know, and that was kind of where I left it off. But today, well, I left out Silver Surfer. That when I was like, I'd have to say 9 years old, I went into this weird cigarette store, and they had a little basket of comics, and they had 3 Silver Surfer ones. It was Silver Surfer 2, 3, and 4, and I bought them all, and I read them, and I was like, Silver Surfer's fucking shit. But that was kind of like something I kept to myself because X-Men was what I did with everyone else. Nobody ever liked Silver Surfer. Everybody says he's Ghost Rider for losers, right? Come on, dickheads.
I like Silver Surfer. What do you think? Um, how do you think he was portrayed in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer?
I don't think it was bad. It was fitting to the 48 through 50 run. You know, how he's kind of like, what's the word? Solace or somber. I don't know what it is. He's just kind of, he's a machine at that point. He's destroyed so many worlds. Like, somebody talking to him is like, whoa, what the fuck are you doing? It was pretty good. I liked it. It was short, you know, but they got everything in there, and they also got the Doctor Doom stuff where it takes the board. I believe that's like 55 to 57.
Right on.
And I like that
I
guy, that actor too. He's Abraham in Hellboy. That guy is hell of people in movies. He's that hand thing in Pan's Labyrinth.
He's always somebody with like a mask on. He's never the prominent role or like a lead with. Has he ever been in anything that he hasn't had makeup on or like some type of thing covering his face?
I'm sure he's gotten in there somewhere, right? They got to give him something. You got to admit he's the best at what he does. Nobody else
That
could
is
play
true.
that lanky character for sure.
So you did bring up X-Men, and I love the Silver Surfer too. Silver Surfer is badass in that. We do need to get him into the MCU, but sadly at this point I'm just like, what's the point of getting him to the MCU because they're not doing too well. Um, but who is like some of your favorite X-Men, like from the animated show?
All right, animated show number one is Morph. Yeah, definitely Morph. When that episode where he's sitting on the couch and Jubilee comes in and he's flipping through the channels and imitating the people on TV. I love that scene so much because I was like, hey, that's me, little smart ass bastard. Yeah, definitely Morph. He was the best, man. Let's see
Short-lived,
another favorite.
short-lived.
Yeah, definitely short lived. Magneto. Magneto was awesome on there. He was intense.
Yeah, he definitely was. I
You just want me to say
also,
Wolverine, don't you?
yeah. Well, you gotta show some love to Canada. Um, I'm surprised you weren't just like all of a sudden just Gambit. Gambit was your
Yeah,
favorite,
he's all right. He
or
was always
Rogue.
okay. Here's the thing with Gambit. I watched a shit ton of Looney Tunes growing up, and he reminds me of Pepe Le Pew, bro. And every time he'd start, oh, Monsieur, fuck talking his shit, I'm like, all right, calm down, stinky Pepe. Good lord.
That is kind of true. That is now I'll never be able to look at that the same. 97 X-Men show comes out and I'll be like, look, it's I thought they got rid of Pepe Le Pew.
Cancel Gambit.
Yeah. Oh man, everybody would be rioting if people like there were so many people with Pepe Le Pew. Gonna be a lot of fans of Gambit more than Pepe Le Pew. Oh,
Fictional
that'd be crazy.
characters.
Yes, yes, exactly. Now, what about comics? Who's your favorite X-Men character in the comic form?
mm, and I really like Nightcrawler, but I gotta say Storm. Storm is the complete package. She's everything. You know, she's a leader. She's fucking Omega, and she's OG. Like I know she's not like uncanny OG, but she's when it comes to everybody else in modern, she's that I gotta go with Storm. She may not be
Now,
one of the five, but she's still top three. Gotta be.
what's some of your like favorite X-Men storylines? I've never read
That's
X-Men. I've only
that.
watched
All
the
right.
animated show and the movies.
See, yeah, I was there with you, but I when I came back into comics, I mean, I read a little bit of the Jim Lee stuff, but it was as a kid just flipping through, looking at all the pretty pictures and catching words every once in a while. But I came back in and I was like, I love X-Men. I'm getting everything, and so I was reading everything, and I liked Extraordinary because it had magic in it, and Storm was the leader at the time. That one was pretty good. But other than that, I'm on here. Let me see. Pull out my trade.
And don't worry, we'll get to
The
the movies here in a little bit. Then
yeah,
fast track back to cartoons.
I'm on X
It's
Men
that one.
40. I'm trying to get through these so I can get to the good stuff. You know, everybody always says Claremont's the best.
Those the
I'm reading.
omnibuses.
No, they're just the Epic collection. So it's trade
Oh, okay.
paperback form, and it's about 25 comics or so. It's somewhere in there. It's called the Epic Collection. This one's number 2. I already read number 1. It took me forever because it's a damn snooze fest. Sorry, X-Men fans. Stan Lee is boring to read. Oh my god, punch me in the fucking face. I mean, I think I'm on Roy Thomas now. It's getting better, but Jesus criminy. I swear to God, dude, read Juggernaut. Read the first appearance of Juggernaut, because Professor X, he'll be like, or no, sorry, Jean Grey. She'll say, Professor, oh, who's this Juggernaut guy? And Professor X will respond with, we don't have time to go into that now, Jean Grey. And you turn the page, and he goes into like a 6-panel dialogue about who the fuck the Juggernaut is. You're like, what the fuck?
It's like I thought you just said. We don't have time for
Yes,
this.
exactly. Punch me in the fucking face. Sorry, it's not my thing.
See, I don't read much X-Men or Marvel in that fact, so like I don't know. I go back and read older DC stuff.
How old do you go?
Not that old.
Are you talking? All right, because you're not calling New 52 old, are you?
It has new in the title, dude.
Exactly. Yeah. Some people consider that old now.
That is true. That is true. I'm talking like Fourth World stuff, like Jack Kirby's Fourth World and that. Like I have that. I was just gonna grab it, but I was like, nah, I'll just wait. Yeah.
You do tend
stuff
to like
like
the
that.
stuff that's a little fringe and out there on the outsides, huh?
A little bit.
You're not like straight down main line of DC. You kind of like to get out there.
Yeah, I like the odd kind of stuff because like I grew up with like seeing all of these random characters. This is why I like Justice League Unlimited. It introduced us to a lot of like C-list, even D-list characters that they'd be like, oh, I'm interested in the Question. And I'm interested in this story. I'm interested in even in Justice League, the animated one that came out in 2001. It had Hawkgirl as a prominent character. She was part of the Seven instead of Aquaman. So
yeah, that's pretty cool getting to see different faces. I like that too.
And it's the characters that you never really see that much of. That's why I'm glad that some of the characters that are showing up in Superman Legacy, they're probably not going to be like huge roles, but they're going to be in that universe, to say the least. So I'm happy to see that. Speaking of characters that you've grown up with, showing up in movies, what were your take on the X-Men movies? Like, what were some of your favorite X-Men movies?
First Class. I liked First Class a lot. The X1 was okay. X2 was really good. I liked that one a lot because I'm a big Nightcrawler fan, and I thought they did him justice. To be honest, I thought he was pretty good. I mean, he wasn't like the best, but they did a really good addition of each character. But I got to go with First Class just because I think the acting was on par for what the characters deserved.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Fassbender is an amazing Magneto. He was excellent. They kind of took superhero acting to a whole new level because Captain America was pretty damn good, but it wasn't because the people were bringing that. It was the writing. You were seeing it play out in front of you. Michael Fassbender sitting there staring at that satellite. That's like that's in my brain rent free every day. When I feel like I can't do something, I'm like, our satellite. But yeah, First Class. I know that they changed things and made him get hit by a bullet and everything was weird, but you gotta understand, they're trying to take crap and polish that turd into something cohesive, and they kind of did.
Yeah, they did. The only I think the only thing I didn't like about that movie was, and this is going to go back to the casting of from James Gunn for Superman Legacy, because the guy was that played this character is going to be Mr. Terrific in Superman Legacy, but the death of Darwin, I was like, huh, that
Yeah,
doesn't make sense.
that was really terrible. It was. They wasted him because he literally can't. Not you can't kill. Nothing can kill him. Nothing. Literally nothing.
So, so I'm glad that actor gets to come back and play a pretty cool character as well, Mr. Terrific in the DCU. But that was the only thing I didn't like about First Class. I love that movie. And then
To
what
be
was
honest
that
with you,
movie?
the whole Kevin Bacon part of the movie, it's I always kind of forget about it because the interaction between just the heroes is so good. I always forget about them.
I don't know. Like I like the actress that I forget her name, but she showed up in a lot of things. She also showed up in
Emma
like
Frost.
American Wedding. Yeah, the woman who played Emma Frost. I think she's gorgeous. I think they picked a perfect girl to play Emma Frost in that movie.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, and you got Azazel too. That was awesome. You got Nightcrawler's dad.
yeah, and that definitely he dies near the second one, doesn't he?
Uh,
Like they just like
what
he
happens
dives
at like
off screen.
I'm just picturing them flying through the air right now. I don't know why. Can't remember how he died. I'm gonna have to watch it after this.
Yeah, and X Men, the first movie that came out, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool seeing that on the big screen for the first time. I didn't see it on the big screen, but the first superhero movie I saw on big screen was Spider Man. Um, so
Mine was Turtles. I believe it was the first
oh, that's cool.
superhero movie I saw on big screen.
Oh, that's awesome. The first Turtles movie, they darkened it up. They made it like the comics and that, not like the cartoon show.
Yeah.
In a way,
I still watch it. I listen to the
and that's the
soundtrack
funny.
all the time too.
That's the funny thing too. You look at like even though like you look at them today, and you'd be like, that's what if turtles were real life today. That's what they'd look like. Even now, like because we're so accustomed to seeing them like that, we're just like, yeah, that seems about right. I was
Yeah.
disappointed in the last. You're like nah
They should have
nah.
like a 6 foot long neck or something.
That's what you think they look
The
like.
head should come up.
Shit. I don't know. I think it would be horrifying to see like them. To be honest with you, even in those costumes, like you see the horror ones where it's just like you see Buddy's face.
The
Like if you go
teeth,
back and watch them.
you'd be like, whoa, it's terrifying. Have you seen the? I think it's a Donatello costume. It's from the original movie. It's all jacked up and looks like he's been on crack for 30 years.
No. Jeez. So going back to you talked a little bit about cartoons and that, and you saying like Batman was like a stepping on point, which I love that. I love the fact that like cartoons or other media can get people into comics. Like it's not something that happens because that's what happened with me and stuff, and so that's exactly what happened with you. You seen these cartoons, you're like, oh, I want to check this out. Flip through the pictures, and you actually just started reading after that. So you got to start somewhere. But I want to move to like some of your favorite like Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh man, it's that's really hard to pinpoint when I started watching that because I kind of feel like I've been watching cartoons since birth. Like Disney, all those old Disney cartoons, where they're trying to be funny but teach you about society and things like that, or Looney Tunes where it was just mayhem. And then let's see, Yeah, and he had like Super Friends. That one was pretty fun too. Um, Everybody my age watched like GI Joe and Transformers, but I never I never really got into it. I got more into Beast Wars when I was probably about 10 or 11, somewhere in there. So, sorry, don't hate me for not loving GI Joes. uh, One show that I never wanted to miss was Eek the Cat. I loved Eek the Cat. That was one of my favorites. I don't I don't know what it was. It was just something about that show. I just didn't want to miss it. And then Tick, the Tick was fucking awesome. Love the Tick. I don't. It's hard because I don't remember if some of them were Saturday morning cartoons or not. I just remember watching so many damn cartoons. Like you had,
Yeah, they got melded in a lot because then they had like
yeah,
Disney afternoons. They had like
Hanna
WB Kids was like
Barbera,
all the time. So like
yeah.
they'd had like they had them playing all the time. Like it was more of like,
I
and it wouldn't
remember
be like new
Wacky
ones, but they
Races.
Wacky Races was amazing.
Yeah, but I don't remember if I watched it on Saturday mornings or not. The only things I could remember, like specifically waking up on a Saturday to watch, was Fox Kids Saturday mornings. Like when they had the Tick, they had X Men, Eat the Cat, they had I think Reboot was on there. There was a
Reboot was
lot
awesome
on
too.
there, and then I think I do remember the Disney afternoon because isn't that where Darkwing Duck and DuckTales, Chippendale Rescue Rangers, all those shows. Wasn't that on something like that? Disney Afternoon?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
I think that
remember.
was
I
like
didn't pay
Disney
attention when
afternoon.
I was a kid. I didn't pay
Yeah,
attention. I was like, oh, it's on. And then things
I
that I
just knew
watched on.
channel numbers. Like I still remember the channel numbers today, and like they're probably different now, but like it was 29 here in Canada for YTV, 29, 15 channel 15 was Teletoon, channel 54 was Disney. That's all I needed to know.
Yeah. And then what about Nickelodeon? Did you watch stuff on Nickelodeon?
No, we didn't have Nickelodeon, so like
Okay. There
I think
was
the
this.
stuff from Nickelodeon, I think Nickelodeon stuff showed up on YTV because like we got Rugrats on YTV, we got Reboot on YTV. What else did we get on YTV? We got a few other things
Did
on
you ever
YTV
get
that was Nickelodeon.
Snick at Night? It's Nickelodeon at night, and it was on I think Saturdays, so they called it Snick at Night. And they had like All Real Monsters. Um, Are You Afraid of the Dark? What else was there? I think
Okay,
is
see,
that where Clarissa was on? Clarissa Explains It All. I don't remember.
I remember that show. I don't think I watched it, but I remember All Real Monsters. I remember. What was the other one you
Are
said?
You Afraid of the Dark?
Are you afraid of the dark? And then Goosebumps came along too, and yeah, that was
That
all on
was on. Yeah,
YTV.
that was
So
on
YTV
Fox.
must have.
Okay. Yeah, Goosebumps was awesome because I remember reading the books and you're like, oh my god, the show's on too. Uh,
It wasn't a scary show.
no, there was older shows too, like everybody loves to shout out Brave Star. Brave Star is fucking awesome. It's fucking was that an eagle, a horse, these metallic fucking animals?
I never watched that.
No, dude
No,
was in outer space, but he still had like this I don't know ranger cowboy hat on.
there's some shows that I never really got into, and that other people did. But like, I still remember. I've been watching this guy. He's called Hats Off Media, and that he's like breaks down old channels and cartoons and stuff back in the day. And I'm just like binging on that. He's pretty cool. Uh, and I've been finding out, like remembering old cartoons that I've never watched. Like you remember Mork and Mindy
So it wasn't a
and
cartoon.
Grim, or no, sorry,
Or
not
you
Mork and
think
Mindy. Ah, Grim and Mandy, Billy and Mandy.
Oh yeah, that was like early 2000s, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Or was it before
I
that?
I I
Okay.
I like that. I fell in love with that and stuff. It was dark and creepy in that, and like I don't know.
Did you watch Recess? It's on Disney Plus now.
Recess,
Yes.
is it?
That
I
that
remember
show
watching
was
Recess all the
awesome.
time.
It's like they're in prison and they're trying to escape prison. I love that show.
In a way, like we had a
Well, you
kid
got the
like
yard.
Randall too.
Did you? All
We had a
snitch.
kid that looked like Randall. Like he didn't act like Randall. He wasn't a snitch or anything, but like that poor kid got picked on so much because he looked like the character. I feel bad for him now.
Little
Like,
most Cieslak.
that is true. I never really thought about that. Like that's his father. That must be.
Right? Oh damn
They
it.
had so many movies too, um like direct to video movies or like movies that just came on
Oh yeah,
Disney.
'cause when Disney started doing like those hour-long movies or whatever.
Yeah, because I remember like Recess. It was just like Welcome to Third Grade was a movie that they did, and they all got older, and then I don't know. I used to even watch like reruns of Recess, like when I was in like junior high. I was just like get home
I
from school.
I guess it's on Disney Plus. I've been rewatching it.
It was always great. I used to
Yeah.
watch that when I got home, and then freaking I don't know. We had weird shows though. Like we had shows that you guys didn't get from Disney, like Life with Derek was a show, which was fantastic, and then there was a show called Radio Free Roscoe. Yeah,
Hmm.
shout out Roscoe. But it was like it spelled differently than his name, but yeah, it was Radio Free Roscoe, and it was only in Canada. And I want them on Disney Plus, but like they're yeah.
Oh,
I think you can watch them on YouTube.
did you have Pete and Pete? Did you get Pete and Pete out there? There's these two
That
brothers. They're both
sounds
redheads.
familiar. Oh, I probably
Oh
didn't
man.
watch it then.
Okay. Bleeker would probably get mad if we didn't say anything about He-Man.
He-Man was good. Not all of it was good, and this is the thing. Like he's gonna hate me now because I like the new He-Man, and that He-Man got a season 2. So just saying,
I haven't even watched it.
I didn't mind it. Or it didn't get a season 2. It had 2 parts, and now it's getting a second version. I think the first one was Revelations. This is Resolution. I don't know, something like that. But it's getting a season 2, and so I think it's already filmed, already done, and stuff. So it's gonna drop on Netflix. But were you huge into He-Man, like the original show?
I just remember when I would go to my dad's house, he had a couple on VHS. He bought them so that when I'd come over, I could watch them. I'd watch the same episodes
Nice.
over and over. I was a kid who
I
cared,
was like
right?
exactly. I was like that with some shows. We were moving, so I recorded a few episodes of uh, the real Ghostbusters
Oh
cartoon
yeah, that
that
one
came
was
out.
awesome. The one
And
with
I
the
just
gorilla.
no, that
The,
was no. This is
okay, you're
why they
talking
had to
about
call it the real Ghostbusters, the cartoon that came out in the '90s.
yeah. That's the one that. Yeah, I remember that one too. They had all the toys and yeah, that one was fun.
That
Where my
was fun.
cousin had the trap, slide the trap out, and then you hit the little air thing on the foot pedal, and it would open up.
Oh, nice, nice. There was a lot of good movies that got made into cartoons. Like, did you watch the? There was like I don't know. I still like it, and it's probably why I like this movie is because of the cartoon. They made like a cartoon Godzilla like they made a Godzilla cartoon from the movie that dropped from the Godzilla in what was it 1999? They dropped that.
The one with Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, they made a cartoon out of that movie. Then they made a Men in
Oh,
Black
they did,
cartoon,
didn't
which was
they?
fantastic.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was on. I believe that was on Fox, wasn't it?
I have
I
no
think I
idea.
remember
I
that.
just remember
That
loving
was
those
like around the
cartoons.
time the Silver Surfer cartoon came out.
That's on Disney Plus too.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about that. It was nice to go to cartoon. The best thing that ever came out of it was a commercial with Silver Surfer and Hank Hill. Silver Surfer come flying up and he's talking to Hank Hill sitting out in front of his fence.
Oh shit! I never
Pretty
saw.
good.
I gotta look that up afterwards. Now I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah.
You find anything? But do you remember the Beetlejuice cartoon too?
Yep. I do. I remember that one. Yep.
It's a
That
little
one's pretty
weird.
funny. That's got a comic as well.
I love that cartoon. It did make sense to the movie considering Beetlejuice and her are actually like friends in the cartoon, and in the movie they're
Yeah.
not. So
They're like a team in the cartoon working together.
yeah, she goes to him with all of her issues and stuff. They get
Yeah.
into
He
a
he
lot of
was
shenanigans.
he was kind of more like Drop Dead Fred. You ever seen that movie?
No,
Oh man,
so
check it out.
speaking of movies, what are some of like it doesn't have to be like live action either. It could be cartoon movies as well. But what are some of the movies that you loved growing up?
One of my favorite movies to watch when I was a kid was Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I loved that movie. I watched it so many times. Let's see, Empire Strikes Back. Watched that one a lot. Mm, This movie called Robot Jocks. I don't know if you ever seen that one. It's kind of like Pacific Rim, but minus kaiju. Uh, war is fought with the giant robots, basically. Let's see, another kid, Aladdin. Probably watched Aladdin 1,000 times.
So another thing that got made into a cartoon, like a regular cartoon on Disney. I wonder if they're ever going to drop that because there's a ton of cartoons that they haven't dropped that on Disney Plus.
Hmm. I don't know. I think they would. They're hurting for content, right? Just mass dump stuff on us. Come on. Another movie. Let's see. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't think of one. My favorite movies are stuff that I kind of overlooked them as a kid, and then started getting to a teenager, had a great appreciation for them. So I kind of left those out. Uh, Public Enemies. You ever seen that one? The Superman, Batman, Public Enemy.
Oh, yeah, that
It's a
animated movie.
cartoon. Yeah, I like that one. That one was really good. I didn't really watch it when I was a kid, but I watched it a lot with my kid.
Do you get a lot of the Batman or either like even the DC animated stuff a lot?
Mm, It's hit and miss for me, like if I watch it or not. I'm a very impulsive uh, entertainment type of person. See something I like, I watch it.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
If you don't like something, I don't plan on watching it either. Being like, that doesn't look interesting. I'll watch it anyway though. But I don't know. I'm stuck on that whole Aladdin thing because like yeah, they don't even have the Aladdin movie on Disney Plus, do they?
They should. Are you talking about the live action or the cartoon?
The cartoon. I remember seeing the
It should,
live action on there, but I don't remember seeing any of the animated stuff.
it should be on there.
and like they had the animated cartoon that was coming out. I don't. They had the Lilo and Stitch cartoon, the 101 Dalmatians cartoon. I don't think they have any. I think they have the 101 Dalmatians cartoon on there. I think.
They just have zero new material. So hey,
Zero
bring
new
out another
material.
dead horse. Let's beat that sucker too.
Well, they did have Secret Invasion, which didn't end well.
Hey, I I kind of like the show, to be honest with
I,
you. I mean,
I do too,
what?
but it just that last episode where they like literally were more focused on Nick Fury's love life than the actual ending of the show.
I feel like the whole show was about Nick Fury, not a secret invasion. Because I mean, the word invasion means it's happening. It already happened. There's a million of them here. What the hell are you talking about? It's not invasion. They're here. We're invaded.
Hmm.
The
And by
whole
the end
Super
of it,
Scroll
we
thing was
there
a little.
yeah. And you want to talk about people getting mad that Captain Marvel is overpowered? Well, Gaia is overpowered now.
Right? What happened to the Fantastic Four Super Scroll? Can't we just have that?
They don't even have the Fantastic Four. They've been adding too many different characters.
It's gonna cost too much money in the end. Watch, you cancel it.
Mhm. All right, now that we're on the MCU talk, I want to know, like, because you're a fan of X-Men, you like the X-Men. Um, what X-Men would you want to get? Like, they kind of already stated that Kamala Khan is a mutant, and then Namor is a mutant. But what kind of mutants? Doesn't have to be like the OG mutants, but what kind of mutants would you like to see make an appearance in future MCU projects?
But we had Ileana already, but I would love to see her again. Definitely,
Say that name again.
Ileana, Magic.
Okay, yeah, we had her in New Mutants.
Yeah, I mean it's not quite MCU, but I mean it's kind of folded in with Deadpool. So
I like the actress that played her, and that she's been in a lot of things like Split and Glass, and that I really like her as an actress. And she played
yeah.
Princess Peach in Super Mario Bros.
Oh, she did. I didn't realize that. That's cool.
Yeah.
I think she did a really good job too, and I'd like to see that character more. Let's see another X Men. I'm not gonna say Gambit. No, I'm not gonna say Gambit. You know what?
Hashtag cancel Gambit.
I, I know he's a new mutant, but he is Professor X's son, and Legion is one of the most interesting mutants that there are. I don't think there's a more interesting mutant than Legion because every personality he has its own mutant ability. That's like that's crazy to me. That means he has an
What
almost an infinite possibility of mutant powers.
I got a question, and then we'll go right back to it. What did you think of the Legion TV show?
It was really weird. It took me a while to figure out what the fuck was going on, but I enjoyed it. I think there was a season two, but I haven't watched it yet. I've only seen season
Uh,
one.
there has been, I want to say three. I could be wrong, but I want to say three seasons in total. Could be four,
Wow.
but I want to say three. But it did get a whole lot of crazy throughout the
Yeah, because
seasons.
it got to the point where that guy was talking about being inside of his own head or something. I can't remember what he said, and then I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" I went all the way back to episode one and started watching it again, and I was like, oh, oh shit.
Yeah, right. It's a show you need to pay attention to,
Yeah,
and
you
full attention.
yeah, and you got to be open to the possibilities of what's going on too.
Yeah, not everything you're seeing is what you're seeing,
Yeah,
but. Yeah. back
I
to
know
the
Legion is,
casting.
yeah, he's not really an X-Men, but he is a mutant. So I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I
good.
didn't say X-Men either. I just said mutant
Oh, you
because I don't
did?
think.
I thought.
Yeah, no, it's just whatever mutants you'd like to see. Could be a villain. It could be a villain that shows up in like a random movie or show and stuff. Because I don't think they're all just going to be like, "We're here,
Yeah,
we're a
I know.
team already."
I know Sabretooth always gets done. He's been in before, but I really enjoy Sabretooth as a villain. He's pretty awesome, and I just keep throwing him in there. I'm fine with that. I don't care who plays him or when. Just throw him in there. Wolverine, yeah, I could do without him, to be honest. It's one of those characters that everybody loves him, so I hate him. You know what I mean? Like Glenn with his Superman. God, it made
No,
me puke.
Superman's pretty good right now. But
I'm
I
just
get
joking
that.
with
I
you.
get that. I talk about a certain character all the time, and that's why people hate him so much. And yeah, he's still a
Animal
really good
Man?
character.
What?
Yeah.
Don't ever talk about that guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
never. Don't talk about
you
him.
never
Never.
talk about the we won't talk about that.
Now I want to know. But what other mutants would you like to bring into the MCU besides Sabretooth? Oh no. Oh no.
You know what? They did him already. They did Cannonball, but I always thought he was a crazy character because just how they would do his feet. They always drove me nuts how they do that. Or Chamber. Chamber is fucking gnarly. Do you know who Chamber is?
I do not.
He's from next Generation Next. I can't remember what it's called, but it like right here, he has no bottom jaw because it blew off. It's like all this energy comes out right here. I don't exactly know everything about him, but I know that he looks pretty fucking badass. So I'd love to see him on the screen.
That'd be pretty
Um,
cool.
you got to get Jubilee in there. I want to see fireworks, man. Better than what they did already.
Yeah, what one was that? That was Apocalypse?
Was it?
Well, I want to
Uh,
say yeah, it was Apocalypse. They brought her in.
uh, well, since they're not doing the Inhumans thing, I mean, Black Bolt's got to be a mutant too now, right? They may have done him in the show, and he may have been on the what is that, Doctor Strange, but
Yeah, he was in Doctor
he
Strange.
deserves a lot better. That character is pretty badass. Like, I think that he would probably be one of the only things that could, besides Franklin Richards and Scarlet Witch, I think he's one of the only things that could possibly kill Wolverine or Deadpool because he obliterates it into atoms. I don't. I know you can like cut Deadpool into pieces and it'll come back, but what if he's turned into atoms? I never read anything like that. I'm sure he has.
It makes sense. I don't know. I don't know if it would kill Wolverine. Not sure if the I want
Adamantium.
to call it vibranium,
Adamantium.
adamantium. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would be broken up by his scream, but
Well,
Deadpool for sure.
if anything, his skeleton would be left, but it would be blown apart, right? Nothing to hold it together.
That's true.
Maybe it would create enough friction to liquefy the adamantium.
That is true too. Like if they want to bring any Inhuman in now, like Quake, for
Korvac,
instance.
you have to have Korvac. That scene with Doctor Strange doing the 4,123,000,000. That's Korvac. He does that on the daily. Everything he does, he's like, whoa, 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 4 billion possibilities.
Yeah, they did have Korvac on the show too. Like that was a terrible show. We won't get
Yeah,
into it too
that's why I
much,
wasn't.
but he.
Yeah,
But they
terrible.
have to to give those characters like if they ever wanted to bring any of those characters into the MCU, they'd have to do it like because I feel like they don't want to go the Inhuman route anymore at all.
Yeah.
So I feel like they'd be like, okay, yeah, they're mutants in this world. Because now Kamala Khan died and she came back in comics and now she is a mutant, isn't she? Or is she out now? I know I seen
I don't know.
some covers.
I haven't read it. Uh, I did think of a good one though. Mimic. You know who Mimic is?
I've heard the name.
His mutant ability is if he's in the proximity of a mutant, he gains their powers. So he's kind of a double-edged ability because he can sense when a mutant's within a certain proximity because he'll gain their power, and also gains their power. I think he comes
That's
in like X-Men 18 or 19, somewhere in there. You see
if
him
you
on
want
the
to really.
cover, and he's got these giant feet. He's got angels' wings and Cyclops visor.
That is pretty cool. If you want to watch a really good show, I don't know if you've checked this out before. I think it only lasted 2 seasons, but it was called Gifted. It came out from Fox.
Is
I
that
think
did Stan Lee narrate a little bit of it?
I don't think so. Like it was. I think the reason why I got canceled is because it was during the whole Fox merger with Disney.
Just something that got cut.
So yeah, it's something that got caught, but it was pretty good. It was like after it didn't have the main X-Men in it, but they were mentioned, and the Brotherhood of Evil, and that there was a um, big battle. I think it was in New York, and a lot of destruction. A lot of people died, so they put a thing out for mutants to be captured, and that and it was a Sentinel program in a way. So they're
Oh
like
damn!
collecting mutants and that and stuff. So there was a resistance and a rise from the gathering mutants and stuff. You had the good guys and then you had the bad guys, of course. But it
Was
was a
there
pretty
a
good show.
Nimrod? Did they have Nimrod in there?
I don't think so. No.
That would be crazy to see if they brought Nimrod in. I know they brought Bishop in, but they didn't. The way that they did Bishop in the cartoon was the fucking best. He was like this cowboy that come into town ready to fucking shoot. He's there to save him, but he thinks he's there to kill him.
Yeah. I forget who they had. I know that they had Polaris in the show.
Oh man, got green
They had
hair.
Blink. They had Blink in the show. Um,
Glob would be pretty fucking cool to see.
yeah, he only showed up in what was that movie? X-Men Origins Wolverine. It's the only time
Glob
we've
was
ever
in
seen
X-Men
or Blob.
Origins.
Glob. You said Glob. I thought you said
Yeah,
Blob.
no, Glob is the pink gelatinous thing. You can see through him. You can see his ribs and organs and stuff.
I don't think you've seen them. But they also had the triplets, the clones of Emma
The
Frost.
sisters.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Cuckoo sisters.
yeah, they had them in there as well. And like I said, Polaris was in there, and Magneto was mentioned a couple of times and stuff
So
because
that's kind of like doing the new the new X-Men run kind of then. Did they have Phantom X in there?
no, I don't think so. I'm not too
No,
familiar with a lot of the characters in that. I just
Phantom
remember
X
liking the
looks
show.
he looks like Snake Eyes kind of. Or if okay, I think it's Ghost Hunter on the new Batman. You know who that is? He looks kind of
Yeah,
like that.
I don't think so. Yeah, they definitely
Okay.
didn't.
Well,
I don't remember seeing that character.
he puts these weird plates in his mask so you can't fuck with his brain.
Um, yeah, I you definitely need to check out that show whenever you can. Um,
Yeah, definitely. Well, gifted, right?
Gifted. Yeah, I think it was 2 seasons. and it's definitely worth it, guys. If you're watching this and that, and you want to know what gift it is, definitely check it out. If you're an X-Men fan or want to watch a good X-Men show, I enjoyed it. Died too soon.
Come on,
Um,
let's go right now.
all right. Bye everyone. No. Last question. Because like I said at the beginning, you go over to the hunt. You'll be actually over on the hunt this Friday, going up against Bleecker. What are you?
Next Friday, I
Next
believe it's
Friday.
is it the 12th, something like that. Yeah, I'm going against Bleecker. I will be the Fiend. I'll have my mask on, and it's the cover championship. And our theme is TV shows.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Awesome. I look forward to seeing what you pull out and what you have in that. Because like, I love my TV shows. Me and Uncle Phil's Treehouse, are going to be doing a show on TV shows and that because we like to talk TV shows. Um,
nice.
so so being on the hunt, it's a for those of at home that don't know about the hunt. The hunt is a covered challenge where they have themes like Callie said, and this week it's TV for their theme. There's other things you can go for, like cover champions, TV titles, um, tag teams, and stuff like that. Uh, but it's also wrestling themed. I want to know, like, did you
Yep,
grow up watching wrestling and loving wrestling?
I did. I remember I remember the day that the Ultimate Warrior threw up on live TV, and I went and threw up immediately after yeah, I loved wrestling as a kid. I actually went to I believe it was 1991 Royal Rumble here in Sacramento, and I think Yokozuna won, if I'm not incorrect. I can't remember. He might have won, but yeah, I loved wrestling, man, and I fell out of it after the Attitude Era. Like Degeneration X came in, that was cool, and I fell in love with Stone Cold because he was I liked ECW a lot, and Sandman was my guy because he would drink a beer and then smash it on his head, and I thought that was pretty badass. And a Stone Cold, he wouldn't smash a beer on his head, but he would, crinkle the can while he was drinking it, so that was cool. But after that era, I kind of fell out of wrestling, and I didn't watch it until I got on the hunt. I mean, to be honest with you, I started watching the hunt like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and I just thought it was funny, people talking shit to each other while they're showing comics because every other show is like it's lighthearted shit talking, but the hunt was like, fuck you, your book sucks, dude, get that shit out of here. And it was like it was fucking awesome. I loved it, and I just had to be a part of it. I don't know why. It's too much fun to miss out on.
So, what was it? How did you come up with, like, how did you decide that you wanted to take on that persona?
Uh, I thought Doink the Clown was a little too goofy for the show, and for you, you want to win. You don't want to lose. You don't exactly want to like win all the time, but it feels good to win. And I don't think Doink the Clown would win a fucking match ever. So like I said, I hadn't watched wrestling in a long ass time, and I was like, let me just watch some fucking current was montages of wrestling and stuff from the past 10 years. And Bray Wyatt started coming across the screen and the Fiend. And I was like, oh, what the fuck is this shit? This is fucking cool. And it just like clicked. I was like, this is too good of a persona not to use on the hunt because it fits perfect. You don't have to wrestle. You just have to play a character. Like Bray Wyatt's not the most physical wrestler. He's a great wrestler. That's why he's been champion before. But really, the characters that he plays are phenomenal compared to a lot of other people because he brings depth to a character that nobody really does that anymore. They got this face persona that you get past really quick, but when you bring a little bit of depth, it like grabs people, and it grabbed me. And I had to try to use it It was fun. It was dark, and it just felt perfect. I would have gone with, I don't know, like was yeah, like Doink the Clown or Hacksaw Jim Duggins or something from back in the day, Ultimate Warrior. But a lot of those are already taken, and it just didn't feel right.
Makes sense. So how like being on the hunt now and that, yeah, like you have an amazing collection, and some of the stuff that you do on the hunt, you just like make me cringe sometimes when you're doing something new. It's like, what are you doing? No, no, and you do it with such ease and stuff. I want to know like how has your comic collecting changed since you've been on the hunt? Because like you have a phenomenal collection, and I don't know what your collection was like before. You have to go with like TV covers, but did you have a lot of TV covers prior to going into this match?
I I did. The only thing that changed with my collection was I started to think like you. You were the Mountie. I have books that I have bought since I've been on the show to play against you specifically if you ever came back. You know, like a Dudley Do Right comic, stuff like that. Just things that I wouldn't normally purchase. I have purchased now just to try to show on the hunt. Like here, I'll give you an example. I never would have purchased this ever if I wasn't on the hunt. It's just a, WWF belt book, and there's no way I would have ever bought that if I wasn't on the hunt, ever. So I guess my collection has changed that way. But like I said before, I kind of have everything I've ever wanted as a kid. You know, when you go into a store and you're like, oh, I wish I had money. I got all that stuff a while ago. So I had to branch out and I had to make collecting fun. And one thing that I discovered was fun was giving stuff away. And I kind of got swept into that for a long time where I was just buying stuff just to give it to somebody. And it was a lot of fun, but I started realizing I don't have anything. You know, I have friends. That's awesome, but I kind of want comics too. So I was like, what can I do to make comics fun for myself? And it was like 2 or 3 years ago. I did a challenge, and I actually started my YouTube channel because of this challenge, where I wanted. Let me start at the beginning. It was January 6th, and I had gone to a comic shop every day from January 1st to January 6th, and we were joking around, me and my friends, and one of them was like, "Oh, what would happen if you went every day?" And I thought, what would happen? And I like challenged myself to go to a comic shop and buy comics every day for a full year, and I did it. Sometimes I had to purchase stuff on eBay and pick it up at the post office, but I would consider that a haul because it's like 10 comics in there. But I had every single day for a fucking year, I went and made myself buy comics. And my comic collection kind of tripled because of that, because I was buying just everything that I liked. It was like, oh, that's cool. Dollar comic. I'm taking it, taking it, taking it. I don't fucking care. Electric bill, fuck off. No. But I just started having fun with collecting again, and then because I started the YouTube channel, uh, I kind of got at first. I was like, oh, I'm gonna try to get subs. Yeah, let me try to get subs. But I found out real quick I didn't care about it and I didn't like it. I didn't. It's not that I don't like asking people to sub me. It's just that if you want to sub somebody, you're gonna do it. You know what I mean? If you like what people are putting out there, you're gonna hit the thumbs up. You're gonna subscribe. I don't need to ask you. If you don't like what I'm doing, I don't want to irritate you by asking you every single video, subscribe, like I'm not knocking people who do that. It's that's that's a part of this system. That's something you don't have to do,
That
but it
that being
works,
said, guys,
right?
if you like this video, make sure to subscribe now. Hit that thumbs up.
It's over. It's over there. It's way over there. But anyways, yeah, I started the channel and started posting all the videos, and then started meeting people in the community, and it just grew from there. And now it is what it is here in 2023, where people are asking me to come on their show for no reason. You know, I am nobody. I don't do anything important. I'm just a person in this community having fun with everyone else. And I think that that's what everybody likes, is that I'm having fun and everybody else wants to have fun too. And just let's go. There's plenty of room. Let's have some fun.
Exactly. And it's a good way. Like some of us, like I'm on a lot of people's shows, like to jump on a lot of people's shows and stuff. But it's also a way where we can express how we feel about certain comics, movies, TV shows, or certain media that's out there, and have people that feel the same way about you about certain things and that. And it's just people that you wouldn't have like you can't just walk up to somebody like, let's talk comics. Like, who the fuck are you? Get away from me.
Yeah,
So
even in your own little personal like community bubble, it can be a little challenging sometimes. You might find two or three people out of 100 in your community that share the same common interests you do. But when you're in the YouTube community, it's like all of a sudden there's 50, 60 people that have the same common interests as you on a daily, you know, and you're not having to argue with people
mhm.
constantly because those people ain't here. Let's be honest. They got something better to do with their time rather than follow us and talk shit to us unless we're fucking complete dickheads. You know, like I follow Journey just to piss him off. Happy birthday, Journey.
I was gonna say like, we don't bicker or argue in that, and I was gonna say Journey, but you beat me to it. So
Yeah, I think this community is pretty tight. Like, there's not a lot of infighting at all. If somebody has a problem, usually, I'm gonna say usually, we're pretty good at like dealing with it. But I mean, there's always you know monkey wrenches thrown in the engine that it's hard to deal with. It's hard for some people to get over things, and it's hard for us to accept things from the past. You know, it just happens. It's a community, and we're all people, and we all fuck up. Who cares? As long as we're not cutting in line to get Peach Momoko signatures and stuff, it's jeez.
hey, cutters. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, that is at the end. Actually, I got one more question before we end things. 'Cause we are past that hour mark, and I just want to say thank you for coming on and having a great time with me, talking some shit, getting to know you a little bit better, and hopefully people at home got to know you a little bit better and be like, "Oh, he likes that. I like that too." Um,
Yeah,
but
or oh, he likes that? Fuck him.
yeah, exactly. Um, did you are reading like some like collected editions like you've shown in that, but are you reading anything current right now like in comic form? Are you picking up like comics that are coming out like monthly or weekly or not?
I was on the monthly bandwagon for years, and recently I've just fallen off. It, I used to love going on a Wednesday and going and getting books, you know, and just grabbing them off the shelf. But then I had a couple of bad experiences at my LCS with the Wednesday morning crowd, and it really turned me off to going. And I kind of not going on Wednesday morning kind of took that away from me, where I wasn't getting new comics on the regular. Like I would go to, I have a couple of LCSs. Like the one that I actually have a saver at, I would go there on Fridays because it was just easier for me. And I had like three books on my saver. It's what it was: Spawn, Scorched, King Spawn, and Gunslinger Spawn. I think those are like the only books on my saver now because I flat out I was like, I'm done. I said no more Marvel books. I will never have a Marvel on my saver as long as I fucking live. I'm not saying I'm not gonna buy them. I'm just not putting them on my saver. There's nothing reliable about a Marvel book. If it's not Daniel Warren Johnson, I don't care right now, to be honest with you. And like everything else, it's indie. Everything I want to read is indie. So but yeah, I fell off the bandwagon, and every once in a while I'll pick something up I like. Like I really liked reading Little Monsters. Little Monsters was a really fun read, and I enjoy Jeff Lemire. He is like my if I could have somebody tell me how to be a writer, I would ask for Jeff Lemire, like by far. The way that he writes, I love it, and it's my favorite. I'll just be honest with everyone. Jeff Lemire is my favorite writer. I love Daniel Warren Johnson. He puts a lot of heart into everything, but so does Jeff Lemire. Jeff Lemire, he really knows how to grab you by the guts and just fucking rip them out. But he
He
puts
was
them
a
back all nice and neat for you and sews you up all nice.
yeah,
But
as
yeah, I
seen in
fell
the
I
in
fell
the
off
pages
the
of Animal Man.
I fell off that current bandwagon, and I gotta say I'm not unhappy about it because
Hmm.
I've been going back and I've been reading a lot more of my epic collections, the, just a lot more trades. I've been reading a lot more trades, and I've been enjoying reading a lot more because it got to the point where I look at my two short boxes of comics that I need to read, and I'm just like, I don't I don't even want to fucking dig through it and find something to read because everything is so boring. Like I, Evil Mike, I don't know how he does it. He's the only person I know that at one time was reading more current books than I was because I was literally picking up every single fucking book and reading it for no reason other than just to do it. And he does it all the goddamn time. I don't know how he does it, but yeah, he does it. So I got to give it up to Mike. He is the current king. Like, I,
Yeah,
I
I
can't
can't
do
pick up
it.
everything either. Like I usually pick up certain things that I like and that, and like I kind of want to whittle down my list too. Best way I find, like I like getting trades too. There's always the trade
Yep,
route and stuff. Like if you hear good things about a series and that, and be like, okay, I'll wait for it to
yep.
come out and trade and that. But like certain
I
things I
noticed you
can't
got
wait.
Spawn back there, the compendiums.
Compendiums. Yeah, I used to
Yep.
do a show. I read through the first 50 issues and reviewed them on a different show. Um, I still need to get the third and the fourth compendium, but right now
Was
I need to.
50 your favorite out of the first 50?
50 was pretty good. They left it on
Yeah.
a cliffhanger, and it was pretty good at the end with the clown kind of infiltrating his not daughter, his ex wife's daughter birthday
Saving
party.
Terry and everything. Yeah, that was a good one.
So I love picking up trades and that. Like using my library to go back and read some stuff as well. Um, but I agree with you. Sometimes it's good to go back and read older stuff that you've not. There's a whole history of comics out there that you could go back and read if you're new or if you've been reading all of them. But like even people that have read everything or have kept up with comics, there's stuff that they've probably missed too.
And it's
So
nice to reread stuff too. Like I reread Watchmen again a couple weeks ago, and I was like, God damn it, I fucking love this book so much. Yeah, at the end with Rorschach, the splat, that really gets me. Like his amount of the mustard in that man's fucking veins, to stand up to the most powerful thing in the fucking universe and just be like, I'm not fucking changing, dude. You better just fucking kill me. That I love that. So going back and rereading, that's another good thing.
that's true. That's true. Well, I just want to say thank you again for joining me on this journey with you, um, and get to know you a lot more. Like, there's some stuff that I got to know about you a little bit more, and it's been a fantastic hour with you. A little over an hour, but
I was gonna say you better cut me off because I'm just gonna keep talking, dude, forever.
that's all right. That's all right. That's what this show's all about. So you can catch Cali on the hunt. Tony Sanders. I'm going to drop Tony Sanders' link in the description down below, as well as your Instagram and your YouTube channel, because you do these. you put on these contests and stuff. And you put what do they call the hunt? Freak.
Oh,
I
the
know
dark
this.
side of the hunt. Yeah,
Dark side of the
we got
hunt.
a imitation dark side of the ring. So the hunt is wrestling theme for anybody who doesn't know, and the hunt has been going on for nearly 5 years now. And so we're starting to do kind of a history of the hunt, but telling it through dark side of the ring. So we call it dark side of the hunt. And now we're on episode 3. But on my YouTube channel, I do a monthly giveaway where I give away a 9.8 slab every month. And I finally caught up to June, where I've actually done the video for the winners and shit like that. So I got to make one for July. But my giveaways are changing to where the dark side of the ring videos will be the giveaway video, basically, because the way my giveaways work is all you have to do is comment on the video and you can win. That's it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to subscribe to me. You just have to comment on the video, because it's the easiest way for me to keep track of who has a possibility of winning. Because to be honest, if somebody likes a video, I have no fucking clue. I have no idea who it was, when they did it, or even if they did it. All right. So that's the only way I can really keep track of things, and it makes it really easy for me. And the good thing about it is the hunt is every other week. My giveaways were only once a month. So now I have to give away like twice as many fucking things. So that's good for you guys. More work for me, but hey, like I said, that's one of the things that makes me happy, is giving stuff away. It puts a smile on my face to know that somebody likes something I gave to them. Not because they think that, what the fuck? Okay, here's some more
All
yelling.
right.
You fucking neighbors.
There you go, Journey.
Oh. I lost my place. You're ending the show anyways, right?
So yeah, you do giveaways, like, and you
Oh
love
yeah.
giving this stuff away and that. So definitely go check him out on Instagram. The link to his Instagram is down below. His link to this YouTube is down below. Go subscribe. Even though he said don't go subscribe, you don't have to. Go subscribe and like that freaking video. Also, make sure to comment on it so you can enter into the contest. Go check him out on the hunt, not this Friday, but next Friday, as he's going against the fellow Canadian Bleecker Street. And he's a tough one. He's a tough one. So good luck.
Is. I'm worried about this one.
That being said, guys, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single video. Next week on Between the Lines, we will have Evil's Comics joining us. So that's going to be a fun one. That being said, hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your day or evening, I guess, at this point, and hopefully you had a fantastic new comic book day. Bye, everyone.